is Ambika. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today in this video we are going to see what are all the different questions that were asked in GenC and GenC Elevate interview. Actually the GenC and GenC Elevate interview is similar, but you can expect more coding questions in GenC Elevate. But you don't think that for GenC there were no coding questions are asked, because for some of my friends even for GenC interview the coding questions were asked. Okay, so be prepared well for that. And I collected these questions from 4 to 5 different interviews of my friends which were happened recently. So I really have worked hard to collect those questions and make a PPT. So please do encourage me by subscribing to my channel and hit a like so that I will be getting more inspiration to do more videos. Okay, now let's go on to the video. There were 4 different types of questions are asked in this GenC or GenC Elevate interview. There is only one interview. There is no like TR interview or HR interview. There is only one interview where the aptitude questions are asked, TR questions were asked, HR questions were asked, and coding questions are also asked in between. Okay. So in the video later we'll be covering what are all the questions that were asked of different sections. Okay. First, let's see what are all the questions, aptitude questions were asked. See the average of first 5 natural numbers. So you can find it easily using traditional method, but you can find it fastly if you use a trick. That is, if there are consecutive natural numbers or consecutive numbers, the average will be the middlemost element. That is, if it is 1 to 5, the 3 is the answer here. And if there are odd numbers, what if there are even numbers, we will be adding the middle 2 elements and we will be dividing by 2. So that's the answer if the elements are consecutive. Okay. And the average of 4, 6, 9, x is 36 and find x. You can do it easily. So you first stop the video and do it on your own so that you will be remembering. And if you are able to solve all these questions throughout the video, then I'll bet you that you will be definitely cracking the interview of GenC or GenC Elevate. Okay, so try doing these questions by pausing the video. Now let's go on to the next question. That is, if today is Tuesday, then after 45 days which day? So it is very easy, but you should think. So if today is Tuesday and 49 days means 7 into 7. So you can minus that. That is 7. Every 7 days that will be a same day. So you can minus. So after 45 days means you will be minusing all this. Every 7 days it will be Tuesday only. 7 7s are 49. So after which day? Tuesday after it will come. So that is nothing but Wednesday only. So actually I know answers for few of the questions, but I can try and find answers for all the questions, but I'm not here to tell the answers. You have to do on your own so that you will be remembering. If I tell the answer, you will just listen and you don't remember it. So please pause the video and try to do the answer. And if you don't get it, just check somewhere like Google or any other. So you try to find the answer. And then if you search like that and find your answer on your own, then you definitely remember it. Okay? Okay, now the next question is 2019 first day is Friday. Then they're asking me find what is the last day. Okay. The next question is, you have 4 persons with difference of 4 years and the average is 36. What are their ages? Okay. Note, just try to do these questions on your own. Then you definitely remember. Okay. The next question is all the factors of 36. It is very easy question. You can find it. So the product of first 5 natural numbers. Okay. Try to solve. Find next letter in series. Okay. You just pause the video and try to solve this question. These types of questions you should more concentrate and do it. The answer will be there itself. Okay. Next. How many Tuesdays in a month if first day in the month is Monday? Okay. Try to solve these questions. Mother and doctor present age and after 12 years age was given. They are asking to find mother's present age. So these type of questions can be asked. it is not like that only these questions were asked, but these type of questions. So the difficulty of the type of questions you can expect, and you can prepare what are the different types of aptitude questions. Like you can see the dates, the date functions, or the months, those questions, or the age problems, like that. Okay. Next is, there are 3 children, like the first child, second child, and third child, and whose age was varies with difference of 3 years, and the average of 3 children was given. Like example, if it is 45, and they are asking us to find what is the age of middle child. And here, when you are attending the interview of GenC or GenC Elevate, you be prepared to have a paper and pen with you side. So they may ask you if you have pen and paper. In my case, they ask me if you have pen and paper, take it. And even if they don't ask you, you ask me before solving aptitude questions, because you can't solve those questions with your mind, right? So you obviously need a pen and paper. So you ask them, and they will tell you, okay, you can use. So you can immediately use that. So keep your pen and paper side of you for interview. Okay. Next. Now let's see, these are all the aptitude questions that were asked, and those are over. Now let's see what are the technical questions asked. They asked me difference between the tuple and list, and you can check and find each information of tuple and list. You find yourself, then only you will be remembering. Okay, if I say, you won't remember. So what is DBMS? So it is obviously, you should know the difference between what is DBMS and DB, that is database. Database is different, database management system is different. You should know the difference between this. It will be asked in many of the interviews, okay? And difference between SQL and database management system, these type of questions you can expect. And here, the difference between tuple and list. Not only that, they can ask the difference between the set and tuple, like that, the dictionary and set, and any of the question they can ask. Okay? And explain stack data structure. Okay, it is very important. So you can also expect explain queue data structure, those similar way. Okay. Next is, what is join? Explain different types of it. So this is very important question asked in many of the interviews. Even I faced in all the interviews, almost all the interviews what I attended, this question is asked. Okay. So be prepared for that. What are all the types of joins? Like left join, inner join, they may ask you independently as well. Like what is inner join? What is the difference between left join and right join? What is the difference between inner join and outer join? So you can expect questions of those types in joins, okay? Next, see, here you can see, you explain inner join. This question is also asked. So, and next, 6th one is, what is structure and union? So in the C language, you will be knowing what is the union and structure. You just know the difference between those two, okay? Next, what is a pointer? So you have to find your answer. It is a direct question. You should answer, okay? So what is generalization? So it is the DBMS question. So the generalization question in DBMS is also very important. Will be asked in many interviews. And they can ask like what is the difference between generalization and specialization, like that. Okay. And the normalization question is also very important. The normal forms are also very important. And create, update, drop a view in SQL. Okay. So here you should know, before attending any interview, you should know the DDL commands, the DML commands. You should know all those questions, all those. You should be able to answer all the questions related to those. Like they can ask you what is the difference between alter command and update command, and what is the difference between drop command and delete command. Okay, you should know that. So, and here to help you, I am doing another video. I am trying to do another video, that is, I'll be covering what are all the most important TR questions for any interview. Not only this Cognizant or anything, for any interview, what are all the important questions in C, in Python, and in DBMS and Java. Okay, I will be covering. If you watch that video, many questions will be covered. So okay, you please go and watch that video. So it is in the process. Okay, I'll be uploading it. Okay, next question is, difference between database and database management system. Obviously, I told you before. And difference between overloading and overriding. This is also very important. You should know the difference. And this will also be covered in that video, that is all the TR questions for any interview. So you go and watch that video. Okay. So what is OOPS and features? In many interviews they will ask you what is OOPS concept, and they will ask you to explain any 3 features mainly. So you should be knowing that. So this question will also covered in that. So answer will be covered. So I'll be telling the answer for every question. That is, you go and watch that. So real-time example of OOPS concept. Okay. You just Google search and try to understand the OOPS concept and find a real-time example. Okay. So what is the difference between class and object? So it is very basic. You should be know that. Okay. Now, difference between Java and Python. So you should know the difference between Java and Python and C and C++. Okay. Difference between C and C++, and you should know all those differences. So that will also be covered in that video. Please go and watch that video. See, no, I'm not saying that the questions will be covered, the answers. So if you watch that video, it will be helpful to you before going any TR interview. So what are all the TR questions mostly asked, and what are answers for that? I'll be covering in that video. Please go and watch that video. Next, now let's see HR questions. Here, I will tell you one thing. See, here HR questions is not like only these questions were asked. You should be able to answer any HR question. So for that, there are some tricks you should follow, so that you will be answered any HR questions. Okay. So for that, I have done some. I am going to upload another video to how to answer any HR question, any tricky HR question. If it is technical question, if you know, you'll be answering, and if you don't know, you cannot answer. But what about HR question? You should able to think. You cannot say I don't know for HR question, right? If it is a TR question, if you don't know, you can say. But if it is an HR question, you cannot say I don't know, sir. You should answer something. So for that, you should follow some tricks. I will be covering those that tricks in another video. That is answer any HR question. How to answer any HR question. Okay, you go and watch that video. And there is also another video which is what are all the top 30 HR questions that were asked in any interview. So if you prepare the top 30 questions, how to answer them, then that's it. Mainly those questions were asked, and you can easily answer all the HR questions. Okay. In that video, I'll be saying how to answer the HR questions as well. Okay. Now let's see what are all the questions that were asked in the actual interview recently. Strengths and hobbies. Obviously, this is asked in many interviews. And where do you see yourself in after 5 years from now? And which domain you are more comfortable? Here, I will tell you one thing. See, if they're asking which domain you are more comfortable, you should be able to find for what domain they are offering. Okay. If you tell like that, if they're offering a job for you, a web development role, and if you said, I'm more interested in cloud computing, sir. So that's it. Then they won't select you. So you should be knowing for what offer they are offering, and you should mention that here. For what role they are offering. If it is web development role, if they ask you, sir, I'm more comfortable with web development and as well as cloud computing, you can say like that. If you really are comfortable with cloud, and you should mention for what role they are offering also. Okay. Now let's see. Are you flexible with night shifts? Of course, if you should accept that. Yes, sir. And do you have any location preference? Yes, it's your wish. You can ask them. Next, any problems you faced in your life, how to overcome from it? You can expect these type of questions, like any challenges you faced, any problems you faced, and they will definitely ask you any example that you should be well prepared for that. You have to discover that, go to past and discover what are the problems you faced or what are the challenges, and you try to add some of the few things for that and make it more attractive. Okay. Next, do you prefer learning online or offline? You should be accepting for both online and offline, or you can do that. And describe the inspiring quality you like most in your best friend. Okay, so that's the question. And next, you are allocated in a testing team or as a tester instead of developer, what would you do? Okay, you think and create your own answer for that. Now let's see what are the coding questions that were asked. So actually the coding questions for this role, that is Elevate or GenC, is very basic. If you prepare the very basic questions, that's it. It's very basic. So the first one is find whether the two strings are equal or not. Okay, it's very easy. You go to the online compiler and do these questions. Pause the video and do those questions. And print the system date. Here I wanted to tell you one thing, that you try to remember all the built-in functions to print the system date or the system date or time or anything. Okay, they will ask you, and if you don't know the matter, you cannot do. Okay, so find the length of strings without using the string function. Okay, there is some methods you can find on the internet. Next, print address of variable without using the pointer. So without using the pointer, it is very easy. That in C language you can, if you for an integer you are using %d, right, in the printf, and if you use %p, that's it, the pointer of that integer will be printed. So that's the simple thing you should be knowing. Next, check prime or not. So it is a simple program, basic program, checking prime or not, but you should write the optimized code, not the traditional method or old method, but you should be able to write the optimized code. So for that you can check on the internet. So sorting of array without using built-in functions. So these are also you can find some of the methods that were used in the internet. Okay, try to solve all these questions before going to your interview. So factorial of a number, that's it. And the palindrome. So these are all the basic questions. So that's it. Thank you so much. Please do encourage me by subscribing to my channel, and I feel like this video is helpful to you, and if you wanted me to do any other videos, you can put it on the comment section. So I will see and I'll try to do those type of videos which are more needed to you. Okay, so thank you so much. Bye bye.